tonight with developing news out of Amherst, where crews spent much of the afternoon battling a large fire. Welcome everyone to Western Mass News at 10 on this Friday. I'm Chris Pisano. Western Mass News reporter Maria Wilson is live from the scene with the details. Maria, what can you tell us?
Chris, neighbors say that it was a lightning bolt hitting a barn that sparked that fire here in Amherst earlier today. This was the scene when we first arrived several hours ago. Heavy dark smoke could be seen from miles away and bright orange flames engulfed the barn. Now it appears that the flames are out, but crews are still here. Meadow Street, where the fire is located, is still closed at this time. Crews from Amherst Fire Department battling the flames for hours alongside Hadley, Northampton, and Pelham Fire Departments. We are told that the barn is home to a number of cows that have been taken elsewhere. We still don't fully know the extent of the damages or know if anybody has been hurt, but we will update you with that information as soon as it becomes available to us. Reporting live in Amherst, Maria Wilson, Western Mass News.